Is Miles Morales still worth playing in 2025? Absolutely. Despite being almost 5 years old, Spider-Man Miles Morales remains one of the finest superhero gaming experiences available. While it may be brief, it delivers a concentrated dose of excellence that many longer games struggle to achieve. The game has aged gracefully and continues to showcase what next-generation gaming can accomplish. What makes Miles Morales special? Miles isn't just Peter Parker with different abilities, he represents a fundamentally different approach to being Spider-Man. Where Peter Parker embodies the classic friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Miles brings his own cultural identity and community connection that feels authentic and meaningful. The game succeeds because it doesn't try to replicate Peter's story. Instead, it focuses on Miles' journey from trainee to full-fledged hero, creating what feels like a genuine origin story rather than a mere expansion. This is Miles' story, a Puerto Rican teenager from Harlem finding his place as a superhero. Insomniac Games went to extraordinary lengths to ensure authentic representation. Traveled to East Harlem to study the neighborhood and meet residents. Worked with dialects coaches and consulting groups. Collaborated with actors from across Latin America. Incorporated genuine Puerto Rican cultural elements throughout the game. The result is the game where Miles feels like he truly belongs to his community. The famous ending line, "He's our Spider-Man," carries genuine weight because Miles is portrayed as someone who understands and represents his neighborhood in ways Peter never could.
Miles Morales refines the combat system from the 2018 Spider-Man game in meaningful ways. More tactical combat. Air launches no longer knock back other enemies, making crowd control more strategic. This forces players to think more carefully about positioning and timing. Balanced gadget system. Unlike Peter's sometimes overpowered gadgets, Miles' equipment focuses on physical agility and his unique venom abilities. This creates a more focused, skill-based combat experience. Finisher system. The combo-based finisher system feels more rewarding than Peter's focus meter approach. Successfully chaining combos without taking damage becomes genuinely satisfying. Miles' unique abilities. Miles possesses two signature powers that Peter lacks: Venom Blast, a bioelectric shock that can paralyze enemies, disable technology, and even affect symbiotes like Venom. This isn't just a gimmick. Certain enemies practically require Venom attacks to defeat effectively. Camouflage, true invisibility that works on both Miles and his clothing. Unlike stealth in many games, this ability recharges over time and allows for genuine tactical flexibility. These abilities aren't just combat bonuses. They fundamentally change how you approach encounters. The game encourages creative problem solving rather than button mashing. Stealth and level design. The stealth mechanics feel more refined in the original game. Miles can approach encounters in multiple ways. Complete stealth eliminations using camouflage and takedowns, mixed approaches combining stealth with combat, or full frontal assault using Venom abilities. The game never forces prolonged stealth sections, addressing one of the main criticisms of the 2018 game.
The game offers 3 distinct visual modes. Performance mode, 60 frames per second at dynamic 1440p resolution with excellent stability. Fidelity mode, native 4K at 30 FPS with full ray tracing effects. Performance ray tracing, 60 FPS at 1440p with ray traced reflections. The sweet spot for most players. Loading is virtually instantaneous on PS5. Fast travel takes seconds, and there's no loading between interior and exterior spaces. The DualSense controller integration feels natural rather than gimmicky, with haptic feedback that genuinely enhances the experience. Even in 2025, Miles Morales remains visually stunning. The snowy New York setting provides a unique atmosphere, and the attention to detail in character animations and environmental effects continues to impress. The story benefits from its focused scope. While some criticize it as predictable, the emotional core, Miles is struggling with imposter syndrome and family tragedy, resonates strongly. The game explores themes of community belonging and responsibility, living up to expectations while maintaining individual identity, the weight of being a symbol for your community. Miles's character arc from uncertain teenager to confident hero feels earned rather than rushed. Supporting characters, particularly his mother Rio and Uncle Aaron, provide emotional depth that grounds the superhero action in human relationships. The reveal of the Tinkerer's identity may be predictable, but the emotional impact hits because the relationships feel authentic. The boss encounters in Miles Morales are notably more difficult than the 2018 game. The Tinkerer fight in particular stands out as one of the most challenging boss battles in any Spider-Man game. The Tinkerer combines multiple attack patterns, gadgets, and environmental hazards to create a genuinely demanding encounter that tests everything you've learned. Unlike many superhero cam bosses, you can't simply button mash your way to victory. The Prowler offers an interesting multi-phase encounter that gradually introduces his various abilities. His cloaking and hologram abilities create genuine strategic challenges.
Miles Morales typically takes 8 to 12 hours to complete the main story, with 100% completion possible in 15 to 20 hours. While some criticize this as too short, the focused pacing actually works in the game's favor. The game avoids the bloat that often plagues open-world titles. Every activity feels purposeful. Side missions directly relate to Miles' character development. Collectibles tell stories about the neighborhood. Combat encounters never overstay their welcome. This approach creates what many consider a perfect weekend game, substantial enough to feel complete, but focused enough to maintain momentum throughout. Despite its length, Miles Morales has exceptional replay value. The combat system rewards mastery. New Game Plus allows you to experiment with fully unlocked abilities from the start, and the various difficulty options provide genuine challenges.
What still works? Combat remains engaging. The refined mechanics feel more satisfying than many newer games. Still impressive, especially on PS5 with ray tracing. The representation feels as important now as it did at release. Low times and performance remain best in class. What not work? If you play the 2018 game extensively, the core gameplay loop will feel very familiar. Only a handful of major boss encounters. The main plot follows expected superhero story conventions. Spider-Man Miles Morales succeeds because it knows exactly what it wants to be. This isn't trying to be the biggest, longest, or most complex superhero game ever made. Instead, it delivers a focused, emotionally resonant experience that celebrates both its character and community authentically. The game works as both a technical showcase for next-generation consoles and a compelling character study. Miles feels like a real person dealing with extraordinary circumstances, not just the collection of superpowers in a costume. Definitely play if you enjoyed the 2018 Spider-Man game, appreciate character-driven stories, want to experience excellent superhero combat, or are interested in authentic cultural representation in gaming. Maybe skip if you're looking for 50+ hours of content, you strongly prefer stealth-free action games, or you've already completed it multiple times on previous consoles. Miles Morales earns its place as an essential superhero gaming experience. While it may not reinvent the genre, it perfects the formula established by its predecessor while adding its own unique identity. In 2025, it remains a masterclass in focused game design and authentic character representation. The game proves that bigger isn't always better. Sometimes the most memorable experiences come in perfectly crafted packages that respect both your time and intelligence. Miles Morales delivers exactly that.